Either do you consider yourself a little bit of a nerd who also likes to sleep and relax? Well, I think that this is the type of ASMR video for you, because only nerds and closet nerds probably will find this very, very relaxing, and we will try to make it the most relaxing nerd themed ASMR video. We've touched in this particular medium before, and we've got a new one, but this I've had on order for over a year, and it's kind of the piece de resistance in terms of collectible things and nerding out. And for me, this is probably going to be like the #1 collectible item, and I thought, well, let's turn this one into an ASMR video because I know it's going to make me happy. I love watching ASMR things of people's particular hobbies and things that make them happy, and I also binge watch anything to do with Star Wars toys, collectible items, Star Wars collections, and anything which has a slight teaser of ASMR-ness to it, and then I could just fall asleep to it immediately. So I like to try and create those things also, and bring in a very particular special item which I have with me today. This, I'm not going to reveal it in the thumbnail, I'm just going to let it be a surprise as we continue on in the video, and then at the end of the video we will do some mighty cool setups and some very whispery things to make sure we secure that last minute tingles and relaxation in there for you to fall asleep to whilst looking at something pretty epic. So this is our toys figure that we have inside 6 scale, and it's an awesome figure. This one has been in pre-order for a long time, and my collection seems to be growing quite a lot. When I placed a lot of orders on Sideshow, usually it takes within or more than a year for the order to come through. Someone with no patience such as myself, then that's no good. So this is the only hobby which has its ultimate downside. However, when it comes through, then it's an awesome time, except paying shipping fees and all the extras on there. And when your 390 product with shipping fees to boost it up to £500 comes in, and or customs fees, and then you get the old. That's how it turns up. This is twice. This is from Sideshow. Don't know why they keep turning up like that. I think it's just before it arrives to my place, then someone literally just goes, oh, so that is disappointing. Happened to my Darth Vader, and hopefully it's not going to ruin the box, because for me, I collect all the boxes. They're in pristine condition, long made, stay that way. So I'd say that we get this open, get the figure all set up and looking nice. At this point, I hope that you have some good guesses as to what it can be. Sort of cry a little bit on the inside, thinking that that is just putting a nice big scratch on the top of the box. I have that thing, no matter what I've got, what I'm unboxing, if it's on camera, it's upside down inside the box every time. 99% of the time. That's what always happens. So let's hope this one's the right way around. Oh my, you gone and done it, Fred, didn't you? You had to get the speeder as well. Yes, yes, yes. Don't know why that came across as the Dark Lord. A bit too much of a Dark Lord hug there, but seriously, this is what I've been wanting when I first got into the Hot Toys Star Wars collecting. I missed out on the Darth Maul. I remember seeing the first 1.0 version, the original version, and that was embedded in my memory, but never paid attention to it for don't know how many years. I just remember thinking the face, one of the expressions on his face just didn't look particularly right, but the rest of the costume looked good. Then last year, or a bit longer than that, they released that they was going to do a 2.0, and I thought, now that I'm fully into collecting, it's been made for me. Now's my chance. Get it, Fred, get it all. And this, after seeing the photos, Fred, images looked so good, spot on with Ray Parker's Darth Maul. So I had to get it, and I wanted something different for my collection where it's not just going to be a figure standing there, it's going to be a little bit of diorama of some sort. So I was thinking, with the speeder, have Darth Maul going across with some sand base at the bottom. Going to make that at some point, but for now, with the speeder, it's going to look so good. So I'm so happy with this already. The box, the artwork, it looks so good. This is for the anniversary for the Phantom Menace 20th anniversary, which of course, it's not 20th, is it? It's the 25th. Oh my gosh. Which is crazy. Right, so this, which I don't understand the logic, would have been good to have pre-ordered for when it was the 25th year anniversary, so you can get it last year. Now it's 26 years, but still, it's, by the looks of it, very worth the wait. So we're going to unbox him, get him posed up, and see this speeder, get him on there as well, and make some really cool poses. The extras on there, like the sideshow exclusive, is that a good thing to have in the box, or is that ruining the box? I'm not entirely sure. I thought this was Hot Toys. I didn't know it's a sideshow exclusive. Hot Toys. The banner around the edge, really nice, and you can't help but see Ray Park directly from the Phantom Menace with this one. So I know the space which I've left in my DARTH cabinet. If you see my other ASMR videos where I built the DARTH cabinet displayed for all my figures, you'll check that one out. And also, we did an unboxing of Jack Sparrow, which I thought was pretty awesome. I should have dressed up as Jack Sparrow for that. But the Darth Maul one is a spot on my DARTH which I've had empty. So the way I'm doing is episode 1, 2, 3, and 6. And then it was going to be light side, dark side. But now I've got another DARTH, so I can now expand to episode 4, 5 as well. The thing is with these Hot Toys, it's an expensive hobby once you get an idea of what you want, but I made a plan early on when I was collecting of what I wanted. I made a mock-up on Photoshop of the Hot Toys, and now I wanted them displayed because that's just how nerdy I am. And I tweaked it, found out what I thought looked good, and I've worked from there. So you don't end up wasting money on getting figures that you may or may not want. You want to plan ahead, so when it gets released, go for it. The recent one which I've just pre-ordered is the Darth Vader Hot Toys Revenge of the Sith special. That's the 20th anniversary special there, so that's with all of the table when he gets raised up after being transformed into Darth Vader. And also I managed to get my first artisan, just by chance, signing in at the right time, of Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 2. Pretty pleased about that. I'd say let's get this open. The only thing is there where that damage is on the top. Once again, its quality control needs to be observed here. For the price of what you're paying for these figures, Sideshow needs to double box. You shouldn't have the option of having to pay extra for your expensive items to be taken care of during shipping, and it shouldn't be your full responsibility unless it's double boxed, so you know that everything's been done on the other end to make sure that your figure is going to be looked after and safe when sent through shipping. Because you can bet at shipping that all of these people are probably rugby passing all of the packages, or maybe drop kicking and trying to score a try. You know, those sorts of things happening. They don't care about your packages, it's just a box. So to have the double box would be pretty nice for sure. Okay, so the sleeve, incredible, the artwork, incredible, and I almost want to just display those as well. Whoa, that needs to be put in the frame. I don't know why I don't do that really. These are so good, you can literally just place them in. It's an A3 frame and then just hang them on the wall. That's actually a brilliant idea. Why have I not done that? Now, that is pod racing minus all the reflective plastic there. So, because I picked up Darth Maul earlier on, you get the exclusive coins which come with it as well, so that's pretty awesome. So that's the Phantom Menace coin. So, Darth Maul's amazing cloak there. So this is the first ship which I've ever owned. This thing is huge. I just hope that I'm going to have enough space in my D12 cabinet to display it. But my goodness, his speeder has always looked so good. There's something about that design. It's unlike other speeders we saw in Star Wars, and when he sits on it and holds it and rides it like a Harley Davidson chopper, then yeah, that was always iconic to me in the film. So getting him on this later, oh, and it's got sand base there as well, that's awesome. This is going to be really good, and it's probably going to make me decide whether I want to get more ships for the display, which means new cabinets. But because I knew Darth Maul was going to be solo displayed, I suppose I don't really need to say how awesome he looks. So what we're going to do is just take off the protective part around his neck, like so. Then we'll take the head sculpt out, the variation. This is the one which I'm not going to be using, but this particular head sculpt looks incredible. is amazing. So I think, yeah, this has got rolling eyes function, yes, as well. So if you wanted to pose up that menacing look, then I guess you can. And have him posed in some really good positions, but the head sculpt, incredible, looks so amazing. And they've nailed the earpiece there as well, the earring which Ray Bar kept in. So that is awesome. One of the things which I love is sort of what I've become addicted to now is just the smell of Hot Toys when it comes out fresh and new. It smells so good. Right, let's get our commemorative coin out. So I don't know if these are collectible at all, but it's a nice touch to have when you've got your collection. I think that can be displayed somehow in the detail. I think that would look really good with the DARTH MAUL. I think they're pretty cool coins, and it's just a nice little special thing for the celebration. So I think that's a nice touch there. Let's pop you back there for now. So one of the things which is very noticeable for me is lightsaber. So you have dual-bladed lightsaber, which is awesome, and then you have the USB version here as well. Now, it's notorious that Hot Toys USB lightsabers aren't very good. However, I buy my lightsabers on another website now. I can't remember the name, but I'll try to link it in the description below, where you have very realistic looking lightsabers with bright LEDs. However, they do get a bit hot, so from a safety standpoint, I'm not so sure. That is brilliant that they've got a lit USB single bladed version of his hilt there as well when it gets knocked off by Obi-Wan. I just want to say that the chrome and the reflection on this lightsaber hilt is just incredible. This is special, and so is this. This I know already it's going to be my favorite in my collection, and currently it was Anakin, but then it moved to Return of the Jedi Darth Vader, and now it's just everything's reflecting on there, everything's looking good. I feel like this is going to be a really, really nice display that we're going to have going here. So we'll place you in there. I think we will use the USB lightsabers for a bit later. Okay, so we'll place you in there. We only take out what we're going to need. So you've got the option for the blades to have just the pencil thin one, and you can change that as well for the, of course, move in blade ones as well. So I think with Darth Maul, if you're going to display, that didn't sound good. If you're going to display him, he can get away with the twirly lightsaber blades. I feel I should be wearing gloves for this, but yeah, it's such a such a beast, but it looks sorry, I'm too much of a nerd there. I do know the choreography. So the other options here for hand gestures as well. So for us, we're going to display him for the show now with his lightsaber. So we're going to find the appropriate hand gesture for that as well. So my goodness, now that is amazing. Just, they've knocked it out the park for sure. His clothing, they fixed the shape of his head. It's a little bit more thinner, whereas the other one was quite shorter. It's still captured Ray Park, but this is no doubt is Ray Park even there with his face being completely neutral looking, he just looks so menacing, and it's got an almost a smirk there, which is that confident look of Darth Maul. So one of the things I always do with lighting when it's bad guys, you have lighting at the bottom so they shine up into their eyes, so you have that reflective light glow at the bottom of their eyes. And that's always like a classic thing in film, where you have a bad guy that's lit like that, so it just looks, you know, not so good. So if I could somehow get the lighting to do that when it's on display, and we'll do it later, that would be really good there as well. One of the things which I hate is the fact that you have to remove the head to then take out this bit here. Okay, but I think we can take out all this plastic coverings here. The hands look incredible with the gloves. So I think this is the first figure as well. I think Hot Toys are learning where they haven't gone crazy with wrapping up the arms, where you have to literally take off the hands or clothing to get off the plastic. So protecting this belt, which looks pleather to me, which is never a good sign. It's always a bit contentious in the collecting community with these leather things. I think the latest Darth Vader for Revenge of the Sith, that is nylon. So hopefully the longevity will be there, as opposed to having a shelf life for these leather parts on these figures. So that's yeah, the only thing. I think that's pleather. So his boots. Oh, they couldn't resist. There's got to be one for sure. That is exactly what I mean. The most frustrating thing, when they tape really hard around the part, so you either have to get the scissors to it or take it off. So in this occasion, I don't really want to take it off, and I don't really want to get the scissors to it either. So I'm just trying to persevere here, very, very not so carefully. It's just so flippin' annoying when they do that. There we go. And that's better. But now I've messed up. That's really cool. So there's wired. It's a wired clothing jobby, so you can have it blowing in the wind and set it up how you want, which I really like. Darth Maul's tunic looks so good. That looks... Alright, so that is pleather. I thought that was a plastic mold, so that is great. His tabard, or tabard at the front here, his belt looks really realistic, and the front here, so you would notice that Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi, he also has this going around his neck when he goes down, whereas other Jedi traditionally just have it so it goes round. It's either connected to the belt or their force behind and then in front. So this I always thought was a nice nod to Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi to have that similar thing. So it's a poetry thing, I guess. Okay, so for our hands, this is awesome. So I'm gonna have to have this on when he calls his probe droids. That's a really neat touch there. This just smells like the toys, the Phantom Menace toys when I was a kid. So, it's lighter than expected for sure, but it's very, very detailed and painted perfectly. It's minimalistic, but then it's bulky. So yeah, that looks so good. I just wish I had one of these in real life. Surely you can get a couple of wheels on there or something at the bottom and then go down on that. Yeah. So it's got all the details there, and this is going to look so good displayed, and Darth Maul is going to look so flipping menacing on there. Even with this, his dashboard there looks really good. So these, going to have to be very careful with it. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this has a light up function and USB at the back there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness me. The thing is, a lot of this stuff is perfect for ASMR, the plasticky things, the costumes, but then it's always the actual casing, which is just terrible. So loud. Yeah, so you've got different parts for the speeder to go on there, transparent parts. The thing that has got my attention, which I completely forgot. Darth Maul's probe droids, which, yeah, I completely forgot about that. And that is so awesome. I love that so much. Wow. And then I assume that will go on like so. Yeah, that's so good. Very, very happy with this. So I think I'll probably look on eBay to see if I can get 2 more, just so we have the complete set. But obviously these are the pro droids that pop up throughout the Tatooine scenes, looking for the Queen and Darth Maul, and encounter Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, encounter Qui-Gon, and Anakin as they escape and deleted scene where Qui-Gon actually chops one in half. But when he comes back, goes, the boy got to leave. There we go. Even Darth Maul binoculars as well. Like, this comes fully kitted out with accessories. Look at that. It's so detailed and well painted. It's an amazing prop to have, and it makes displaying it gives you so many options. So that's looking very good. I guess we better take off our Darth Maul. So it's all nice and sparkly, shiny. So I wonder if it's got the Jewel of the Fates base option. Yeah, there it is. So that's basically the platforms. So that's amazing. Okay, let's just do Darth Maul's speeder for now. I think it's literally just meant to balance on like that, but I thought there would be something a little bit more secure in there, but it does sit there perfectly and balances very nicely. So I think these articulate, yes. So that is very, very cool. It's those details which I really love with Hot Toys. And yeah, to emulate those going faster and pulling the brakes as well. So that's really good. Does it do it? No. Doesn't alternate there. So that is really good. And it's ready for Darth Maul to get on it. So we'll place you over there. You're going to look so good on display in the detail. So it's come to that point. We need to do Darth Maul's eyes and get them in a good position. Here for display, so this part can take a little while until you get it just where you want, but it really does make the difference with these figures. So he's looking up there. So if his head was down and he looked up, that does look a little bit menacing there. We'll just put that one down a little bit more. Just a tiny, tiny bit. nice to see. So I'm thinking something like that. That's too high up now. So back you go. So very, very carefully pop it back up there and there. See what we've done there. I think that's good if he was somewhat side on looking there. But still not happy with that. Okay, let's better. So is that looking right? And then if I can get the light so it goes at the bottom there. He just looks so good, honestly. That looks amazing. So I think just for now, because I could be doing that bit forever, I think we'll leave the eyes there. I think I will just tweak it just a little bit there. Fred, you got it. You know when you look at something too long and then it almost doesn't look right, but I think that is good. I'm really cautious of these very, very sharp horns here. Okay. So Darth Maul, let's get your head back on, and I can't get over how amazing these clothes feel here. They are so good. I think this is the best tunics in my Hot Toys collection. It really does look like it. It just falls very naturally. Okay, so we don't want to hit the eyes, so place you in. It's so amazing when you get the head on, and now with this costume, looks brilliant. So let's get Darth Maul posed up and get his hands on properly. So I was going to have his lightsaber in his right hand, which is this one. So it's cool that you don't actually have to take off the whole glove for that. That's really good. So we want to hide the wiring a little bit there, so that will be a job. In fact, why don't we not have do we want the USB version? So that all needs to be tucked in his costume, but just so we can see what it's going to look like. Literally. It's crazy. It's literally nothing, but it's better than nothing, I suppose, until we upgrade the lightsabers. But I like there's some sort of detail in the blades this time round, which is pretty cool. So we will use the wired lightsaber. You'll just have to excuse the wire. So his hands on like so. So if I was going to actually we'll do it without all the wiring everywhere. Well, even that comes apart. Seriously, this thing is incredible. I love this one. Okay. Lightsaber blade in there. Now it's how we want to do Darth Maul. So, do we want him doing a classic Darth Maul pose with his lightsaber. I think it's more so hand out and then sort of arm behind type thing. That's good. I have that natural gift. I don't know why. Some people, I think it doesn't work for them, but I can just easily pose my figures so they stand up, and that's what I like in the details. I don't like the clips that one go around and attach itself to the costume, because that's just, yeah, putting some tension on the costume. But it looks a lot more realistic if it's just standing by itself, providing you don't plan to knock your detail off at all. So let's bring the camera down, let's get up and personal with Maul and get him properly posed. There you go, Darth Maul, just give you a little bit of a clean there. Do a massage there, Darth Maul, just so you get ready for your fight. And we want your robe on. What are we doing there? Definitely Darth Maul. It's like the most important thing. So let's take the lightsaber off there, and let's put your Darth Maul robe on, because that is just too awesome to not have on. That's so good. So with this robe, I want to do that. At last we reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge. That sort of robe look. This will take a lot of fidgeting, I think, but I think we can get there and take out the creases a bit. Sometimes these robes, you just literally, it can take forever, then all of a sudden you'll get it, and then that's when you stop. But I think we sort of, you see what I'm going for there, so it sort of looks like it drapes naturally on the sides there, and makes him look a little bit mysterious. He looks so menacing, but when he's riding his speeder, I want the hood to fill out a little bit there as well. So I think something along those lines to bring his inner tunic in a bit there. this bit, we'll have some fidgeting. Damn, it looks so good. With his hood down, I'm almost tempted to leave it down like that, just because he looks really beefed up. But this is the thing which I like with Hot Toys, is you're going for something that's as realistic as possible, and you want to treat it as such, so making sure every detail and everything is just as you want it. That's it's very ASMR to me. Okay, so I think we just stand you there. That looks so good. Like it's just blowing in the wind and he's standing there. It does help with these wires in the cloak. However, we want Darth Maul to have his lightsaber, so this reminds me of Padme's costume bit with these dangly bits. They never look too good, but if you can get it just right, then that is what we want. So if you have his lightsaber like that, it looks challenging, but I don't know. Let's put your hood back on. Yeah, for sure. It's got to be with his hood on, right? Oh my gosh. I can already tell there's going to be a lot of Darth Maul appreciation and staring in the detail. So let's pull that back a bit, like he's about to draw, but also hold his lightsaber out as well. I think if he's on Tatooine, then he should only have one single blade in there. There's no doubt about it. God, looks like a menace. Right. Let's place you in the top. That's better. You just stand there, Darth Maul. I'll hold on to you. That's eventually going to be tucked in there anyway, so wire underneath the hand, because it will go up the sleeve at some point. Let's pop your hand back on there, Darth. Okay. It's funny, as soon as I see the pose, then I can hear the music. So I've inadvertently just made the bit where Qui-Gon jumps onto the Naboo Queen's starship, and he looks up and he goes, and Darth Maul's looking up as he sees Qui-Gon disappear, and he's missed his opportunity to capture the Queen as Qui-Gon defended himself. That is flipping, oh my gosh, yes. I love it, love it, love it. This is an amazing figure. So I think for this point we'll get him in a couple of different poses and see what we can do. I'm going to turn the plate on here. Wow, so that's really made a difference. And you know what, Darth Maul? You know what you've earned yourself right now? You've earned yourself a relaxing ASMR experience. So we're going to make some sounds either side of your head with all the different bits you came with and help you get in the zone, relax, and know that you're in a relaxing place. So let's place all of our little props here. So, Darth Maul, we're just going to get some crimson red here, get it off the palette, and we're going to make all kinds of Sabrak tattoos for you. Happy little crimson red Sith tattoos. Put them wherever you want. That's it. This is an instruction manual how to stay alive if you get chopped in half and thrown down a shaft. You might need this later on. I suggest you read it. Well, I think your little meditation, ASMR meditation, has come to a little end. Well, now we've got this magnificent thing all posed up. I mean, I didn't really change that much, but I must say, Darth Maul looks incredible. I don't know what it is with these hot toys, but it's the whole ultra-realism, realistic thing which you strive for, and I find that process just so relaxing and therapeutic and ASMR-y. even when you're unboxing and the frustration of not quite getting it there, it's, you know, it's going to end in a good finished piece, and I think we've got there with Darth Maul. His icing on the cake for this one, I think, is his cloak. It just, as soon as it goes on top of his head and rests on top of his horns, which I must say are really really sharp and spiky, which I suppose is realistic for the Zabrax, but it just fits nicely, and it shadows the top of his head. It makes his eyes look menacing and ready. It's that stance where he's ready to reveal himself. At last he will have revenge. And yeah, I think that's the look which I want to go for. I think I might pop his arm control pad on and change it for that arm, because I think that for this scene is a bit more fitting, where he summons the probe droids. I'll probably be on the search for 2 more probe droids, like I said, to complete the look. I think that looks really good. USB on the speeder, if I can get away with hiding the wires, that would be good, but I don't think so. Come to think of it, just makes you wonder if there's somehow to put a wire going through the speeder and then down the transparent. No, that's just a pipe dream there. Pardon the pipe pun. But standing next to Qui-Gon, he looks amazing, and the temptation for them to duel together with their lightsabers, I think, is a temptation I shall not be able to resist for too much longer. But together, scale-wise, they look magnificent. Both complement each other, and considering how old the Qui-Gon figure actually is now, he stands up to almost a brand new look. To get an artisan Qui-Gon, that would be something to come alongside with an artisan Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 1. That's the way forward there for me, and that would be the pinnacle of my collection. The Anakins that are dropping right now, I'm still really happy with my Anakin Skywalker Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, especially with his cloak on, and how I've displayed that with the clone troopers either side. But Darth Maul, he doesn't need anyone. He's got that much of a presence and shelf presence, which I think he complements himself. He's awesome enough to just stand there by himself in the shadows, elusive. He will be in the lower part of my shelf where the Phantom Menace starts. Attempted to change that, but I think with the new rises that I've got with the furniture, I think it will look good. It will be a nice piece to look at and see in the collection. The speeder looks awesome. I'm really taken to the actual ships, and it makes me want more, and also more Phantom Menace stuff. So that would be the droidegas and perhaps a couple of them, but I think one would actually, be pretty good. Though I'm tempted to get 2 and then make your own deflector shield to put over it a ball and work out how to do that. There must be a translucent way to do that, like just some sort of bowl, and that would be awesome, and then that would look so good. But this is what I mean. You need more display cabinets, you need more details, and then yeah, it gets out of hand. This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them. We should never have made this bargain. So I think overall that Darth Maul 2.0 is currently my favourite Hot Toys figure, and I'm very, very, very happy and can't wait to add him with the rest of the collection. Now, as you could see going around there, that standing next to Qui-Gon makes me wish that I bought the Darth Maul version without the speeder, so I can also do a pose with Duel of the Fates for obvious reasons. But then seeing that as well with them together, it makes me wonder in disbelief as to why they haven't released the Episode 1 Hot Toys Obi-Wan Kenobi. You've had the Master for a long time, now we need the Apprentice and the Padawan, and that would be so good to have all 3 of them together, because everyone will be using the Duel of the Fates poses and making some cool creations there. That would just be such a nice touch. I would have got the poncho on for Qui-Gon as well, but that's up in the loft in a box, all tucked away and stacked. But I think if he was going to be a part of this as a lightsaber duel, then the poncho would be on. But I've tried to stay a little bit clear from lightsaber duels in the case, just because these lightsabers aren't quite there yet, but the other ones which I bought, the realistic ones, I think CFL springs to mind. Then when it's dark and those are lit up, then it looks really good because the reflections that you get are really amazing. So yeah, I hope that we've lived up to the expectation that if you're a nerd, you would find this relaxing and fall asleep. I need your help here with something. My Chill Fred channel is just waiting for so much to happen to it. One of them is so I can shift all of my nerd things. I make loads more videos like this of all my Star Wars collection items, and we can turn into ASMR and just make relaxing. Everything in that channel could be everything, whereas this one is more focused on the FredsVoice ASMR type style videos. So if you like that idea, then it would be cool to know, and we can get creating some cool things. But yeah, this is awesome. Hope you found it relaxing. Hope you have a good sleep and enjoyed the unboxing. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and gave it a like if you did. I've got some big plans for the collection DARTH display. Like I said, I've got furniture coming and new lighting and more details, and it's gonna look epic once it's all ready. So we could do a future video on that there as well. But for now, Darth Maul, thank you for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed our Hot Toys unboxing. Take care of yourself. Sleep well. Cheerio.